Hey everybody, it's Michael coming at you on video this time. Good to see you. Hope everybody had a great first 3 weeks of class. I can't believe that we're already there. My goodness, almost 3 weeks through, almost a quarter of the way through the class. So I hope you're all enjoying your 509 experience. I know I certainly am. Coming at you from my office today, kind of casual Friday here, so just sort of enjoying a fairly relaxing day at the office and getting caught up with some things, including the 509 work. I just wanted to send you a quick message because I thought that Module 3 was really, really good. I thought it was really well done across the class. Everybody did a great job in the assignment. You seem to really be getting the idea of what the analysis is all about. Now, here's something I'd like to talk about that I think is interesting. One thing that I would really like you to take away from this class are a set of, well, I shouldn't say a set necessarily, but I'd like you to have the opportunity to really sharpen your instincts. I think good instincts are really, really important in community development work because when you come out with an analysis, you're going to get a set of numbers. And sometimes those numbers mean a lot and sometimes they really don't. I mean, you could take them in or out of context. You could talk about them in a number of different ways. What's important is to really understand what's going on behind the numbers so that you can make meaningful conclusions from the analyses that you actually did. I think most of you really did that. That showed in your discussions from this past week. There's a couple interesting trends I'd like to point out to you, though. As you were going through your analysis, did you notice the differences between national level, state level, and local level data? It's very important to notice these things. And actually, we tend to use national and state level data as what we would call benchmarks. These are just ways of comparing what's going on in your community to what's going on more broadly in the larger society. And as you get down level by level, you can understand a little bit more about how typical the community that you're studying actually is compared to what's going on around it. But it depends on the context, doesn't it? So, for example, a lot of you notice that oftentimes incomes were growing and poverty was shrinking. This is a good sign. However, do you notice the national level trends? This was actually going on all across the nation, and the question becomes not whether or not poverty is shrinking and wealth is growing, but is poverty shrinking at a faster or slower rate than the rest of the nation, or is income growing or shrinking at a faster rate than the rest of the nation? Well, how about the state level? And what I noticed actually going between your work is that it's very interesting to see the difference between these. Of what was going on in the north in states like New York versus what was going on in the south in states like Florida. There were different kinds of income adjustments. Places like Bronx, for example, which is one of the 5 boroughs in New York City, actually didn't really change a whole lot. It had some influx of Hispanic residents over the past 10 years, but overall remained relatively consistent and didn't see a lot of the wealth gap activity that we saw at the national level, at least certainly not to the same extent. Compare this to one of the groups actually did Metro Orlando, which even as I would say the boom that really happened there was throughout the 80s and 90s. It really accelerated. Well, now it's slowed down a little bit in the 2000s, but a different kind of development's going on there. We now are starting to see high-tech development, and we're starting to see this really quick expansion in incomes, and also the influx of a lot of minority groups that weren't there before, many of whom are coming there to take advantage of the local economic opportunities. So anyhow, as you continue to go through these analyses, I'd like you to continue to focus on, as you have done and have done an excellent job, continue to focus on some of these relationships between the different levels of analysis and also how they might relate to place and how they might relate to dynamics. And also think about how they relate to one another too. Does income and education have some sort of interrelationship? Most certainly. We know this actually from probably several of the readings that you've done that furthering your education typically leads to a higher income and opens the door to more economic activities. Higher income also makes it a little bit easier to pay for higher education, which, while not terribly fair in many ways, is just sort of one of the economic and social trends that we tend to see. Also, the influx of certain minority groups can drastically change an area in many ways, and it could lead to everything from new entrepreneurial opportunities and new industries emerging can also lead to a lot of different kinds of conflicts in the local space. So anyway, I thought you all did an excellent job, really terrific. Next module, as you're already in the middle of it, we're doing population projections, and we're going to continue on into how to actually combine all this information into a PowerPoint presentation that you can give. So if you have any questions about how to put that kind of presentation together, please feel free to ask me. I'm going to try to also post another video about some ideas that maybe you can use to put your presentations together and to really make them extra special. That's great. So anyhow, great to see you all. I hope to post more videos. If you like this, let me know, and I'll keep on doing it. And it's great to see you. Hope to see you again very soon. I'll be on the discussion boards. Hope you will be too. See you soon.